Okay, I'm like very excited but very scared about this. But this is Nick Crowley, YouTube's iceberg. So anyways, I'm like very scared. But anyways, we're gonna do it.
Hey, coming up next, are you a budding movie maker looking to strut your stuff? We'll show you where to upload and share your videos for the world to see coming up. Right after this break, stay here.
Hi YouTube, this is Chad and Steve. We're the co-founders of the site.
For free and be able to do a bunch of different things with them. YouTube.com is the best place that I've seen it.
Wow. Want to know more about YouTube?
Alright, so here we are, one of the elephants. Congratulations on passing 100 million subscribers.
Oh my god.
Really bizarre behavior on her YouTube channel. Videos posted on YouTube.
Very dark side to the site.
The dark side of YouTube, a place that has become an obsession of mine throughout the years, with the vast majority of my uploads being centered around the most disturbed content this site has to offer. And throughout these years, I've accumulated so many topics ranging from the bizarre to the downright terrifying that I decided to finally put them all together into an iceberg so that I can properly share them with all of you. Most of these will be unique to my channel, but you'll probably recognize a few topics, especially if you've watched my videos before. And in honor of the spooky season, I reached out to a few fellow creators to help me out in taking you guys to the very depths of this site. So without further ado, join me as we journey down YouTube's darkest iceberg. Level 1, Clear Skies. For this layer, I'll be taking you guys through some of the videos and channels that truly terrified me when I was growing up, way before I ever dreamed of becoming a YouTuber. And from there, I'll have some friends join me in walking you through the following levels, which rather than being ranked by obscurity, will instead get darker and darker as we go, at least in my own personal opinion. Until the very end, when I'll close the video off with the content here on YouTube that truly terrifies me today, which I consider to be the darkest on the entire platform. The Real Screams of Hell. This classic video from 2011 reportedly shares an audio clip from a Soviet experiment in which a team of researchers drilled a hole as far as they could into the surface of the Earth. However, upon reaching 14.4 kilometers, the drill suddenly broke through into what seemed to be a large pocket of open space and air. Immediately, the temperature at the site of the drill tip rose to a staggering 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, but that was far from the most unusual discovery, as immediately the scientists began to hear the faint sound of screaming emanating from the small opening in the earth. So curiously, they lowered a heat-resistant microphone into the hole, and this is what they recorded.
Oh my god.
And I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
According to the video, this audio shows the persistent screaming from those trapped in hell. And though certainly very creepy, the video is really nothing more than a fabrication inspired by a hoax of a similar manner. Interestingly though, the Soviets did actually perform a similar experiment in which they drilled 12 miles below the Earth's crust, but nothing supernatural was ever recorded. Marina Mordegard Glezgorov. This entry was actually my first encounter with a YouTube mystery back when I was probably around 11 years old. And needless to say, it led to countless sleepless nights. The story revolves around a 20-second video posted to YouTube that showed a man sitting and staring expressionless into the camera, before the shot suddenly cuts to a man smiling nefariously for the final 2 seconds.
I'm not gonna watch this one again. I always seen about it.
Aside from being slightly off-putting, the supposed full version of this video is said to be cursed and have horrific effects on whoever views it. According to the legend, this is only part of the actual video. The full video lasts 2 minutes and was removed by YouTube after 153 people who viewed the video gouged their eyes out and mailed them to YouTube's main office in San Bruno. The video itself was only viewed by one YouTube staff member who started screaming after 45 seconds. The man is under constant sedatives and is apparently unable to recall what he saw. The other people who were in the room with him said all they could hear was a high-pitched drilling noise, but none of them dared to look at the screen. Supposed videos of this full version have found their way to YouTube over the years, and though they too are quite creepy, it's not hard to tell that this is just another internet myth. They even went on to identify who this man actually was, though I wish someone would have told that to 11-year-old me. Levitating girl in the woods. While on a walk in an unnamed forest in Russia, a man's dog suddenly bolts off, uncharacteristically running away from its owner and failing to listen to his commands. And upon chasing him deeper into the woods, the owner comes face to face with a bizarre scene.
Yeah, about the flying girl. I've seen this movie before. I've seen it.
In front of him appeared to be a young girl levitating in the air next to her mother, and upon the cameraman's dog barking, the child comes back down to the ground and runs off, disappearing into the woods. This is another one of those videos that always gave me the creeps back in the day, and watching it back today, it's definitely still a bit scary, but realistically, it's probably nothing more than a hoax. Marina Joyce. This entry refers to one of the more bizarre moments in YouTube's history, as rumors began swirling back in 2016 that popular YouTuber Marina Joyce had been kidnapped and was being forced to make videos. The concern arose as the 19-year-old creator, who was typically bubbly and full of life, began acting differently. In her videos, she seemed to be incredibly nervous, with her eyes constantly shifting off camera, as if someone was directing her on what to do. In one instance, you could even see a finger of someone behind the scenes pointing to where she should stand. And the bizarre moments continued from there, as viewers noticed an influx of bruises on her arms, a moment where she appears to whisper, "Help me," and a gun in the background of one of her videos. During the time, the internet was fixated on this case, which eventually led to the police doing a wellness check on the girl, who clarified that she was safe and she supposedly wasn't actually kidnapped. Marina eventually explained that her change in personality was simply due to her escalating depression, though to this day many believe that she staged the whole ordeal. Angel of Death. This video was the very first scary video that I ever saw on YouTube, when my friend showed it to me in his basement all the way back in 2008, and honestly it left me traumatized and sleepless for weeks, and I still remember it to this day. The video, which I sadly can't show due to age restriction, shows a soccer match in which a player by the name of Abdulrahman Al-Shuaibi is accidentally kicked in the head by an opponent, and following this, something extremely disturbing happens to him. First, he repeatedly falls to the ground and then springs to his feet in a shockingly unnatural manner. And once he finally finds his footing, he begins jogging backwards, as if he had no control over his body. He finally comes to a stop as he falls to his knees, and his body bends back in the most chilling way possible, to which he then falls completely limp to the ground, landing face first and supposedly dying right there on the field. This video is actually very real and is incredibly shocking to watch, but thankfully, Al-Shuaibi would not actually lose his life. Instead, he suffered from a major seizure as a result of the kick to the head, causing his movements to become completely involuntary. But he would quickly go on to make a full recovery and would actually play in the team's very next match. CERN Sacrifice. This video...
I watched that video before. I think it was called, Players that died at the field. I heard about this when I saw it. I thought in my head, I thought that the guy was dead, like passed away on the field, but thankfully in this, Nick Coley explained that he didn't, so that's good.
Taken outside the CERN Geneva campus shows a group of hooded men, accompanied by one woman gathering beneath a large statue of the Hindu god Shiva. The men then surround the woman who lies on the ground in the middle, as one man approaches her with a knife and proceeds to stab her, much to the shock of the person recording the ordeal. But unsurprisingly, this video too was later proven to be a hoax, with CERN later admitting that some of their scientists had been the ones to carry out the prank while they were attending the campus. Blank Room Soup. Perhaps the most infamous creepy video in YouTube's entire history. This strange clip shows a man feverishly eating a bowl of soup in an all-white room. A strange figure in a horrifying costume then approaches the man from behind and begins to console him, before another figure appears in frame. The two then rub the man's back as he begins to cry, while off camera you can hear the faint sound of laughter. The origin of this video today still seems to be a mystery, but the costumes themselves were found to have been invented by an artist named Raymond Percy, who is best known for his work on Wreck-It Ralph and Zootopia. To this day, he denies any involvement and claims that the costumes were stolen and used for God knows what. However, it does seem more likely that this is just some kind of art project, to which Percy was involved with at least in some capacity. But because he has never fully confessed to it, for now we can only make assumptions.
Hopefully.
Lost in the Catacombs. This entry refers to a VHS tape supposedly discovered within the Paris catacombs by an urban explorer. On it, the footage shows a man casually filming their journey into the claustrophobic maze of death, before their behavior starts to change. For unknown reasons, the man begins to panic and starts to sprint through the dark catacombs, before dropping his camera in a puddle and running off into the darkness, never to return. If this clip is real, it's very likely that whoever was behind the camera suffered from some sort of anxiety attack due to the claustrophobic and just overall terrifying nature of the catacombs. Those strange symbols and unexplained noises in the background have led others to point to more supernatural explanations. Either way, if it is to be believed, it's likely whoever this man was did not survive the trip. However, most people nowadays believe that this was nothing more than a hoax, potentially put on by an old TV show called Scary But True, where the footage was first aired. And though this is most likely the case, it's interesting to note that the footage does actually show the inside of the catacombs, meaning that if they really did fake this clip, then they definitely went all out for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Before we go any further down this iceberg, I have to first bring up something that is truly haunting: body odor. That is why I highly recommend today's sponsor, Dr. Squatch. Dr. Squatch offers all-natural Crowley. Just click the link in the description below and enjoy your savings and new scents today. Tier 2. Tip of the iceberg.